Welcome back to Rare Lincoln Penny. Today's video is about one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the 1983 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it looks like just another copper-colored cent, but believe it or not, some of these coins are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. In this video, we're going to explore the full story of the 1983 penny, from its history, to the changes in composition, to the rare errors that can make it worth an unbelievable fortune. Stay tuned until the end because I'll reveal exactly how much some of these coins have sold for, including one that reached nearly $787,999. Let's dive in. The background of the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation since 1909, designed by Victor David Brenner to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. For decades, pennies were struck mostly in copper, and people got used to their classic look and feel. But by the early 1980s, things started to change dramatically. The big change in 1982. Before we can understand why the 1983 penny is special, we need to talk about 1982. That year was historic for coin collectors. Due to the rising cost of copper, the U.S. Mint decided to change the composition of the penny. Instead of being made of 95% copper, the new pennies were produced with a core of zinc and just a thin layer of copper plating. This meant that starting in 1982, pennies became much lighter and cheaper to produce. Some were still made in copper that year, others in zinc, creating a famous transition period. The birth of the 1983 penny. By 1983, all pennies should have been made entirely of zinc cores with copper plating. But here's the mystery. A few 1983 pennies slipped through the cracks and were accidentally struck on copper planchets left over from the previous year. These are the rare varieties that collectors are chasing today. Why the 1983 penny is rare? Imagine a mint facility producing billions of coins. Mistakes happen. A handful of 1982 copper blanks were mistakenly used in 1983. When these errors occurred, they created pennies that look normal to the eye, but are made of a completely different metal. Instead of weighing 2.5 grams like zinc pennies, these copper survivors weigh 3.1 grams. That tiny difference makes them incredibly rare and valuable. The famous 1983 double die reverse. Beyond composition, 1983 also gave birth to another legendary rarity, the 1983 double die reverse. On some of these pennies, the inscriptions on the back, like United States of America and 1 cent, appear doubled. This striking error makes the coin instantly recognizable and highly sought after. How to identify a rare 1983 penny? If you want to check your own pocket change, here's how. First, grab a digital scale. If the coin weighs 3.1 grams, you may have a copper 1983 penny. Second, look closely at the reverse lettering under magnification to see if there's any doubling. If you see crisp doubled letters, congratulations, you may be holding a treasure worth a small fortune. The current market value. So how much are these coins worth today? Regular 1983 pennies are still worth just 1 cent. But the rare copper versions and the double die varieties are completely different stories. Depending on condition, these coins can sell from hundreds to thousands of dollars. In mint state condition, some have sold for more than $15,000. And in extremely rare cases, they've skyrocketed to values approaching hundreds of thousands of dollars. Record sales in coin auctions. The 1983 copper penny and the double die reverse varieties have stunned collectors. One of the most famous sales reached nearly $787,999. That's right, a penny worth less than a gumball ended up being worth as much as a luxury home. Why collectors pay so much? You might wonder why anyone would pay that kind of money for a penny. The answer is rarity and history. Collectors know that these mistakes only happen once in a while, and when they survive circulation, they become legendary. Owning one is like holding a piece of minting history in your hand. Checking your change. The best part of this story is that these rare 1983 pennies could still be out there. Every day, millions of pennies move through cash registers, coin jars, and bank rolls. With careful eyes and a little patience, you could be the next person to find one of these hidden treasures. Common misconceptions. A lot of people confuse ordinary 1983 pennies with the rare ones. Just because it says 1983 doesn't mean it's valuable. The key is in the weight and the errors. Without those, it's just a common cent. That's why education is important, and why channels like Rare Lincoin Penny exist, to help you separate fact from myth. How to preserve a rare find. If you do discover a 1983 copper penny or a double die reverse, don't clean it. Cleaning coins can actually reduce their value dramatically. Instead, handle it carefully, place it in a protective holder, and get it authenticated by a grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified coin always sells for more. The collector's world. The world of coin collecting is full of stories like this, everyday change turning into life-changing money. The 1983 penny is just one chapter in a much bigger story of rare Lincoln cents, from the 1909 SVDB to the famous 1943 copper penny. These coins remind us that history can be hiding in plain sight, right in your wallet. Why you should start collecting. Even if you never find a six-figure penny, collecting coins can be a rewarding hobby. You learn history, you train your eyes for detail, and you join a global community of collectors who share the same passion. And who knows? The next rare coin might be waiting in your spare change jar right now. Closing and call to action. So there you have it, the incredible story of the 1983 Lincoln penny. A coin born from a transition, shaped by mistakes, and turned into a legend worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like the video, subscribe to Rare Lincoin Penny, and hit the notification bell so you never miss the next story of hidden treasures in American coins. Drop a comment below if you've ever checked your own pennies for rare varieties. Who knows, maybe one of you watching today already has a fortune in your pocket. Today, we're diving into one of the most talked about modern coins, the 2013 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it looks like just another cent, but what if I told you some of these coins could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars in today's collector market? Stay with me as we uncover the hidden secrets behind this small but mighty coin. A penny that tells history. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation since 1909, first struck to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Over the years, the design has changed from wheat ears to the Lincoln Memorial and now to the Union Shield. The 2013 penny belongs to this Union Shield era, carrying not just copper-plated zinc but also decades of American history pressed into its surface. Why 2013 matters. 2013 wasn't just another year. It marked the fourth full year of the Union Shield reverse design, introduced in 2010 to symbolize unity after the Civil War. The Denver Mint, represented by the letter D, struck millions of these coins, but among those millions, certain rare errors and high-grade examples have made the 2013 penny a collector's favorite. The Denver Mint legacy coins with a D mint mark come from Denver, Colorado, one of the busiest mints in the United States. The Denver Mint has a reputation for high production, but within that massive output, mistakes happen. Double dies, off-center strikes, and high-quality preserved coins have created treasures worth far more than 1 cent. The anatomy of a rare coin. Collectors aren't just looking for shiny pennies. They examine strike quality, luster, surface marks, and even the tiniest errors. A 2013 penny in poor condition is worth face value, but in mint state condition, especially MS67 and above, it can fetch staggering prices in auctions. Errors that make you rich. One reason the 2013 penny has gained attention is because of reported minting errors. Some coins display doubled lettering in God We Trust, or a misplaced mint mark, or even partial die clashes. Each of these errors makes the coin stand out and drives collectors into bidding wars. The cent that sold for thousands. Auction records show that high-graded 2013 pennies can sell for shocking amounts. While the average coin in your pocket won't make you rich, rare examples in pristine condition have sold for hundreds, even thousands of dollars. Imagine finding a penny worth over $7,000 just by checking your change. Understanding market value. The coin market is always shifting. A 2013 penny graded MS65 might sell for $20 today, while the same coin in MS-68 could break past $1,000 tomorrow. Condition is king, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins that look like they just left the mint yesterday. The mystery of the $.787.998 value. Some collectors report valuations in the hundreds of thousands for extremely rare and unique specimens. Though not every claim is confirmed, the idea that a common coin could reach such astronomical value adds mystery and excitement. Could the right era coin, the right grade, and the right buyer push a penny toward nearly $800,000? In the world of rare coins, anything is possible. How to spot a valuable 2013 D penny. Step 1. Check the condition under good light. Step 2. Look closely at the lettering for doubling. Step 3. Inspect the edges and the shield for unusual marks. Finally, if you think you found a gem, consider submitting it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade can turn a pocket penny into a prized treasure. Collector demand in the USA. The United States coin collecting community is massive, and pennies hold a special place. The Lincoln series is the most collected coin series in America. This means that any rare variety or high-grade penny immediately finds a market of eager buyers, pushing values higher year after year. Global interest in American pennies. It's not just Americans who treasure these coins. Around the world, collectors hunt for U.S. pennies, particularly unique minting years like 2013. From Europe to Asia, American cents are traded, sold, and collected as a symbol of U.S. history and culture. Stories from coin hunters. There are countless stories of people who found rare pennies in pocket change, coin rolls, or family collections. One lucky hunter discovered a 2013 D penny in nearly flawless condition and later sold it for thousands. Stories like these inspire everyday people to check their spare change. Why you should never ignore pennies. Many people overlook pennies, but every coin carries potential. The 2013 D penny proves that even the smallest denomination can surprise you. Each time you receive change, you're holding a piece of history and maybe, just maybe, a hidden fortune. Closing and call to action. So, the next time you see a 2013 D penny, don't dismiss it. Look closely. You might be holding a coin worth more than you ever imagined. Here at Rare Lincoin Penny, we'll keep uncovering the secrets, the history, and the hidden treasures in coins that most people take for granted. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button, subscribe for more rare coin stories, and share this video with a friend who loves history and surprises. And remember, the next treasure might just be in your pocket. Today we are going to uncover the mystery of the 2021 D Lincoln penny. This coin may look small and ordinary, but it carries a fascinating story of history, minting, errors, and surprising market value. Some collectors have valued certain rare examples of this penny at staggering prices, sometimes even reaching over $787,000. Stay tuned, because this tiny coin might just be worth a fortune. The birth of the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Since then, it has become one of the most collected coins in American history. For over a century, it has gone through changes in design, minting, and metal composition. By the time we reached 2021, the Lincoln penny had already become an American icon, a symbol of history tucked into the palm of our hands. The Denver Mint and the 2021 D penny. The letter D on the 2021 penny stands for Denver Mint, one of the United States' most important coin-producing facilities. Denver has produced billions of pennies over the years, but not all are created equal. In 2021, the Denver Mint struck a huge number of pennies, but within that sea of copper-plated zinc coins, rare varieties and errors slipped through. These are the pennies that collectors are hunting for. Why the 2021 penny stands out at first glance. The 2021 penny looks like any other. It features the familiar bust of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Union shield on the back. But coin collectors know better. Small differences in minting, striking errors, or limited survival in pristine condition can transform a common penny into a rare and valuable treasure. That's exactly why the 2021 D penny has captured so much attention. Composition of the coin. The modern penny is not made of pure copper anymore. Since 1982, it has been primarily composed of zinc with a thin copper coating. This change was made because copper became too expensive. The 2021 penny follows this same formula, weighing 2.5 grams. While the composition may seem ordinary, what makes it extraordinary is not the metal itself but the rarity of certain conditions and errors. The hunt for rare errors. Collectors love error coins, and the 2021 penny is no exception. Double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, and even clipped planchets have been reported in this year's mintage. When these errors are found in high-grade condition, their value skyrockets. A coin that originally cost just 1 cent could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even more if the error is rare enough. High-grade condition pennies. Another reason the 2021 penny can fetch high prices is condition. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to perfect, with mint state 70 being flawless. Pennies that survive in mint state with perfect luster and no scratches are extremely rare, especially when graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC. A top-graded coin instantly becomes a collector's dream. Record-breaking values. Here is where things get exciting. Some 2021 Lincoln pennies with rare errors or perfect condition have been listed in auctions and private sales at values that shock everyday people. Reports have mentioned figures soaring into the hundreds of thousands. The most talked about examples are valued at an incredible $787,997. That's nearly $800,000 for a penny you might find in your change jar. Why collectors pay so much? You may wonder, why would anyone pay that much for a penny? The answer lies in rarity and demand. Collectors compete fiercely to own unique or top-quality coins. Just like art collectors bid millions for rare paintings, coin collectors do the same for numismatic treasures. A rare penny is not just a coin, it's history, prestige, and investment combined. Identifying a valuable 2021 penny. So how can you tell if your 2021 penny is valuable? First, check for errors like doubling on the lettering, cracks near the rim, or unusual shapes. Second, look for pristine condition. If the coin is shiny with no scratches, it may be worth grading. Finally, compare with auction results to see if similar varieties have sold for big money. Even if your penny is not a six-figure treasure, it could still be worth far more than face value. The role of coin grading services. Professional grading companies play a huge role in determining the market value of coins. Submitting a 2021 penny to PCGS or NGC can confirm its authenticity, condition, and rarity. Once certified, the coin gains legitimacy and can be sold in auctions for much higher prices. Many of the most valuable 2021 pennies are those that have been graded at mint state 68 or higher. Collecting as an investment. Collecting pennies is not just a hobby, it's also an investment. Rare coins have historically risen in value over time, especially those with small surviving populations. A 2021 penny that sells for hundreds today might be worth thousands in the future. For some collectors, hunting for these coins is a way to build wealth while enjoying history. Comparing with other Lincoln pennies. To put things in perspective, some earlier Lincoln pennies like the 1909 SVDB or the 1955 double die are famous for reaching hundreds of thousands of dollars. The 2021 penny is part of this same legacy of rarity. While it is modern, its scarcity in high grades or error types makes it just as desirable as those legendary coins. How to start your search? If you want to join the hunt, start by checking every penny you receive in change. Search coin rolls from the bank. Invest in a magnifying glass or digital microscope to spot small details. You never know when you might discover that one coin hiding among the ordinary that could change your life. Conclusion and call to action. The story of the 2021 Lincoln penny reminds us that value can be found in the most unexpected places. What begins as just 1 cent could turn into a life-changing amount of money if you find the right variety. So keep searching, keep collecting, and keep learning. Rare Lincoln penny will continue to bring you the latest discoveries, hidden treasures, and incredible stories from the world of coin collecting. If you enjoyed this journey into the world of the 2021 D penny, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Your next penny might just be worth more than you ever imagined.